Hey guys, it's CL, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I make brand new Critical Role recaps every Monday at noon, and would be happy to have you join the party. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, and hit the Bertrand bell to be notified of future videos. Now, without further ado, let's discuss the 28th episode of Campaign 3 of Critical Role. This episode is the kind of episode that's a little hard to recap. Honestly, the joy of episodes like this is just like the fun in combat and how the players use mechanics to support their creativity and try to outmaneuver and outwit what Matt has prepared for them. So I highly encourage you to just watch this one if you have the time and just enjoy it to its full and pure jubilation that the cast are having at the table. I don't know. I'm not going to go into too many specifics in the combat rounds. I'll share what's necessary for plot's sake, but again, I just think this is the kind of episode you definitely need to go watch. The episode opens as Bell's Hells arrive at the starting line of the crawler race, Ashton and Chetney deciding to take up the reins of drivers for the evening. Imogen paints BH for Bell's Hells and a small ruidus on the side of their crawler, and decides to call it the Red Moon. Just in time for her to notice Otohun Thule is in the crowd, the woman at the center of the red storm in her dreams. Don't worry, she probably didn't notice you. Probably. After Chetney lovingly names the other crawler the Buck Fucket, they upgrade it by replacing the front wheel with, you guessed it, FCG. Fearne shifts into a squirrel and attempts to sneak onto the Paragon Calls ride, but is sadly noticed and shot at. But then, the race begins. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail since I think you should watch it and enjoy it for what it is, but some highlights include fresh cut grass summoning spiritual guardians in the shape of Mario Kart shells, Laudna upcasting Bane to the detriment of a lot of fucking saps in the race, and Aurum doing hot Arashari shit to take over another crawler. Bell's Hells managed to expertly destroy all the others in the competition, as well as commandeering said crawler Aurum did hot shit on before arriving into a cave system. Inside the entirely dark, curving path, Letters lights the way with their magical eyes, and they come into contact with a creature called a Kargarok, a subterranean monster who feasts on flesh and blood. Not scary at all. Aura manages to trip it, and the three vehicles outspeed the beast. Though, plot twist, it comes to catch up with them after they have to slow down from a falling boulder Indiana Jones style that some racegoers tossed off the side of the ravine. But Bell's Hells managed to cross that finish line with really only Laudna getting knocked out in the process. The party returns to Imahara Joe's to repair their crawlers before falling into several sidebar conversations. Laudna and Imogen check in on each other just to make sure everything's still going alright, and Laudna is then swept away to speak with Dusk about the proposed date. She politely lets her down, and luckily seems to be on good terms still. That's a scary thing they both did. Dusk put herself out there, which is hard, and Laudna had to be honest about the way she felt, which can sometimes be even harder, especially if you're trying to spare a friend's feelings. Adults. They did it. Chetney then pulls Dusk aside and basically hits the nail on the head. He proposes for a small cash fee that he'd help Dusk capture her mark. Fearne's parents, if you don't remember, and Dusk has to lie her way out of it, which she doesn't, kind of. The truth is concealed in an Erica to Travis whisper, and I'm very curious to hear the way Dusk phrased it to not give away her plan entirely, if she even did. Meanwhile, Imogen tries to pry into the Fey-touched's head and finds nothing. No purchase. Her mind is being safeguarded somehow. After kind of managing to send Chetney off her trail, Dusk and Fearne talk about their fears and nervousness for the big meeting tomorrow morning. They all stay over at the shop, while FCG and Joe have a little conversation date while he removes the automaton from their crawler chains. The next morning, Bell's Hells awake and find Bertie Calloway, Fearne's mother, making a stop-in for supplies. Surprised that her daughter's already there, she pulls her in for a hug and is shocked by just how much she's grown. For Birdie, it hasn't been the 90 or so years Fearne has lived through. It's only been 6. Fearne gestures for Dusk to come join the welcome hug, but Birdie doesn't recognize Dusk. And in horror, Belle's Hells watch the geometric shapes covering the elf's body shift and turn her into her true changeling form, before grabbing onto the mother and daughter, Birdie uttering, "You led them right to us." Whoa-wee, guys. What did you think of the episode? I can't believe Travis managed to put it together. How cool is that? What do you think they want from the Callaways? What are the Callaways doing? 6 years? Where have they been that time has passed so slowly for them? Could it maybe be like a happy fun ball situation like in Campaign 2, that the place they've been working in has its own timeline of sorts? Do you think Otahun recognized Imogen? I'm so concerned. I mean, what would she do? In her last vision, she had darted towards our favorite witch like she was going to attack. So would she harm her? Or would she perhaps invite the girl to join them in their ranks? Well, it might be too late for that, because Belle's Hells have officially been invited to the Paragon's call. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Such a good episode. What kind of video do you want to see for next week? We return with a brand new episode on August 4th, so in the meantime, what do you want to see? Another casting video? Maybe a Vox Machina character ranking? Let me know. Can I ask who the individual on the left of the intro at the end is? I may just be dumb and not recognize them, but can someone in the comments please just tell me who it is? If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe and like the video. Also, check out my other recaps of Campaign 3 on my channel, or my album Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Bidet, my friends.